This is a Next Wednesday media production.
Okay, y'all, I'm gonna make this a two-parter. First of all, welcome back to GGTV. So this is gonna be a two-parter. The first half is gonna be on Dylan, and then the second half is gonna be like a brief update because I literally just breezed through season 7 and now I'm on season 8. Okay, so we all pretty much know Dylan's backstory. You know, basically he was supposed to be like the bad boy of the crew or whatever in the beginning of the series. We all know he dated Brenda, then cheated on her with Kelly, then dated Kelly, then shit went south with them. He started messing with Valerie when Valerie came on the scene. They were flinging it up in what was that, like season 4 or 5 or whatever. Thinking, yeah, season 5. I think that's when Valerie came because Brenda left. And so, you know, after that, we all know, I told you before, he got like his father passed away, got blown up in a car because, you know, he was a bad man. What else? So so they didn't just let that story die or whatever. We all know he got scammed by like some chick his father used to date, and her boyfriend or whatever. He ends up getting his money back. And so he went through his bout of depression, did his little cocaine binge, got clean, whatever. Him and Brandon were at odds because of Kelly. And then he ends up meeting this new chick. Forgot her name. She was 2 seasons ago. Meets this new chick or whatever. And at first, like, turns out her dad was the one who basically got Dylan's dad killed. So what ended up happening was, at first he was using her as bait to get to the dad. Then he really fell in love with her. They, you know, it was like, it was giving Romeo and Juliet or whatever. So he was going to kill her dad, but ended up, did he end up in, I think the dad ended up getting the dad put away in jail instead of killing him. But the dad was trying to take Dylan out. So, because he, like, Dylan and the girl ended up getting married or whatever. And so he wanted them to like come down to his office. It was a setup. So he wanted Dylan to like come down to his office so he could like pick something up or something of the sort or whatever, because, you know, they buried the hatchet. And then, or so Dylan thought. The daughter goes instead. There was like a bomb in the building and the girl ends up dying. Dylan just can't take it and he rides off. Like, you know, basically he like Brandon went and like, you know, straightened up his house because he said he'd be gone for a while, and then he was gone, and that was like episode like 6 or 7. So he was gone for the rest of season 5, all of season 6, all of season 7, and now we're in season 8. Now, spoiler alert, I hear Dylan comes back, but I think he comes back in the last 2 seasons, because when I looked up the IMDb, it said that he, you know, he was in the show from basically beginning to end. So I'm like, he has to come back, otherwise they would have put a time or, you know, a date on whatever, you know, last episodes he would have been in. So, same with Andrea. I'm like, is she coming back? When does she come back? Maybe she comes back this season. I don't know. I can't wait to see it. But that's pretty much what happened with Dylan. Pretty sad life, which also for me makes sense when um in the reboot in 2008 when Kelly and Brenda are talking, and like one episode, like Dylan calls Brenda because she pretty much, I guess, remained his friend. Like, I don't think they ever like hooked up again or nothing like that. I mean, she left the show, in the 4th season. Like, that was her last season. So, they can pretty much piece together like the relationship between the three over the years just based off of the history. They can, direct it how they wanted it to go. So, and you could tell that Kelly felt some type of way when she saw that Dylan had called Brenda or whatever because, well, I'm not even going to spoil that. If I decide to do, like a little series on the reboot, which I don't know if I will or not or whatever, I might do a video kind of like comparing like the different storylines they had going on. But anyways, yeah, like it made like things that happen in the reboot that like if you haven't seen the original, like especially in the beginning episodes when they have like the cameos from like the people who were like on the original series, and you're like, yeah, I get they were on the old one, but like, why they on the reboot? And then like the conversations between like the old cast when they talk about like old, stuff that happened. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, now I get it. Now, I'm really piecing it together. But yeah, that's the sad story of Dylan, a basic sum up of what's happened to him up until now. Right now, we're really just waiting on his return.